KUAM News brought to you by GTA. We start with you, Subway and Chili's Grill and Bar.
It's a very complicated issue with multiple factors involved, and it's being felt all over the world.
COVID is one of the factors that's involved with it, but there's a multitude of factors involved. But overall, the entire shipping industry and supply chain, global supply chain, is having a lot of problems with getting products to people on time.
Guam's food security is something Senator Clint Ridgell has been concerned with for a long time.
On Guam, we're so sort of isolated and we're kind of at the end of the supply chain. We're such a tiny market. We're sort of like the last people they think of.
And it's one thing to deal with supply chain issues for other products, but it's a whole other thing when it's food.
Of course, we can live without certain products for a while, right? Maybe your favorite deodorant doesn't come in for a while. You can live without it, right? Maybe you switch to another deodorant. But you can't live without food.
So just how secure is the island's food system? Well, not really secure at all. At least 90% of the foods we eat are imported.
That shows how vulnerable we are in the case of food shortages, in the case of supply chain and delivery issues, like some of the issues we're experiencing now with certain products in stores. Now imagine if this expanded to more products. We're just so much more vulnerable because we're importing just about all of our food.
Which is why he's been such a huge proponent in developing a robust agricultural industry here at home. For Ridgell, this means not only would the island be more self-sufficient from a security standpoint, but it would also boost the economy because we would no longer be as dependent on imports.
And that means a number of things. It means we keep more money on island circulating in our economy. It also means that we create new jobs for people who are going to be growing and producing the food.
And that's both produce and meat. Ridgell has introduced a bill to help develop a slaughterhouse.
We're importing all of our meat right now, 100% of it, because there is no slaughterhouse, so there's no ability to market and sell local meat products.
It would also make for a healthier, fresher island. All foods that are brought in are shipped overseas for at least 2 weeks. Now, that's not counting all the other time it takes from harvesting to trucking to the distribution centers and then finally getting onto a ship before it makes its way out here.
So you're getting food that's been sitting in a freezer for weeks. It actually loses nutritional value the longer that food sits.
In the meantime, Ridgell encourages everyone to buy everything locally and to start learning how to grow our own crops. With new advanced technologies such as vertical farming, food security would no longer be a fear here on Guam. We'd even be able to grow food that we wouldn't even think could be grown due to the island's climate.
For example, food that we think requires a colder climate. Well, if we grew that indoors, we can, of course, control the climate, and then we can lower the temperature indoors. Now, there'll be costs with power, and that's another reason why I'm a big proponent of renewable energy, so we can reduce those power costs because renewable energy is already cheaper than fossil fuel energy.
Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanane.